Hi, this is Sean Henricksen, and welcome back to another episode of What to Expect When You're Arrested. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about possession cases. Before we get to that, we do have a free download for you. It is 4 things you should be doing right now if you've been arrested. You can go down to the show notes, and there's a link there. If you click on that, we will send that right out to you. Generally, when people think about possession cases, they normally think about drugs, but there are a lot of other types of possession cases as well. It could be drugs, it could be guns, it could be certain types of weapons, it could be fake IDs, or any other number of things that the law prevents you from owning legally. Thankfully, the district attorney's office in Bexar County has changed their stance on drugs recently, and they are less harsh on cases like small possession of marijuana cases or other types of drugs when it's a small amount of that drug. Normally, we're able to get a better type of offer on those cases than we have been in the past, which is good if you've been charged with that type of a case. Possession means that you have actual care, custody, control, or management of that illegal object. That's what the state has to prove, that you were in possession and that whatever you were in possession of was illegal for whatever reason. There are 2 main types of issues that come up on possession cases. The first is, was the search that led to the police finding this illegal object or illegal substance, was that a constitutional and legal search? There are a lot of issues and steps that we can bring up when we're challenging whether or not something was a legal search. First off, if this was started as a traffic stop, did the officer have a reason to pull you over in the first place? And once they do, what led that officer from changing this from a stop for speeding, for example, to something where either they're searching your vehicle or whatever else that led to them finding this substance? If it was in plain view, then that's not technically a search. And so if you get pulled over, you've got something illegal that's in plain view, then it's usually illegal in that case. If you give consent for the officer to search your vehicle or search you, then that's normally legal. But other than that, the police generally either need a search warrant or they need to have probable cause to believe that you have something illegal before they can search your vehicle. Sometimes they will bring out a drug dog to sniff around the vehicle and try and get probable cause that way. But even in that type of a case, if they are extending this from a traffic stop and they're delaying that to give time to bring out the dog to sniff the car, they need to have a reason to believe that you have something before they can start investigating you for some sort of possession case. And if there's nothing that indicates that you are in possession of drugs, for example, then the cop can only write you a ticket, check your insurance and registration, and then let you go. They can't extend out the stop without reason to believe that you are committing another offense. If it turns out that the stop was illegal, or if we think it's illegal, what we do is we file a motion to suppress the evidence. If the judge agrees with us that the stop was illegal or the search was illegal, then that keeps out everything that came out of that search. In this case, probably drugs or guns or whatever else they're saying that you had possession of that was illegal. And without that evidence, then the case is ultimately going to be dismissed. So that's one way that we can go about trying to get your case dismissed. The other main issue that comes up on possession cases is, can the police or the district attorney's office link that illegal object or substance to you? Going back to the definition of possession, it means actual care, custody, control, or management. If you are in a vehicle and there are drugs that are found in that vehicle, that isn't enough to show that you had possession of those drugs. If they were under the seat or somewhere else in the car that you may not have known about, then the state may have a hard time showing that you were in possession of that illegal substance or illegal object. If they can't prove that, then that's another way we can try and convince them that they have a bad case and they should dismiss this case. Or it could be a reason for you to want to take this case to trial because, again, the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you were in possession of that illegal object or substance. If they can't do that, then the jury should come back with a not guilty verdict, which means that you get to walk away from this without having to be convicted of possession of whatever. If you're being charged with possession, it's important to find an attorney who's familiar with working possession cases and is familiar with the law behind search and seizure. It's a complicated area of law, but it's an area of law that could help you get your case ultimately dismissed. The punishment level for possession cases is ultimately going to depend on what you're being charged with. If you are being charged with possession of marijuana, 0 to 2 ounces, it's a Class B misdemeanor. So it's a relatively low level offense and one that we may be able to just get dismissed just because of what you're being charged with. On the other hand, if you've got a drug that is a Schedule I drug and you've got a large amount of it and you are being charged with manufacturing or delivering that drug, then ultimately you could be facing a first-degree felony, which is the same level of punishment as murder. And so it's important that we know and that you know what you're being charged with, the amount that you're being charged with, and if you're being charged with manufacturing or delivering that substance, because that will have an impact on the way that your case is handled. If you have any questions about possession cases in general, or if you have a possession case or any other type of case here in San Antonio, please feel free to give me a call at 210-775-0852. I'd be happy to sit down and discuss your case with you, let you know what my plan of action would be on your case based off of what you say, and answer any questions that you have and kind of let you know what to expect on your case. I also have a link down in the show notes. You can click on that link to schedule that free consultation, and I'd be happy to discuss the case with you. I hope you have a great day.